All right, it's 135 to beat Miami's new up one for hip hop, R&B, and the Breakfast Club. On Mondays we do Urban Mondays where we lend opportunities to Black and brown people doing amazing things in and for the community. Whether it's innovation, whether it's medical, whether it's social, or what have you. And in this case, we have this amazing gentleman who's author. You know what I'm saying? Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me on, Papa Keith. And my name is Brandon Vega. I'm from Carroll City, and I'm looking forward to this opportunity to let the people know what's going on.
All right, give us a little history on you. I mean, besides being from Carroll City, which is pretty cool, give us a little background on yourself and how you got to the point where you became an author.
Okay, well, like I said, man, I grew up in Carroll City. I went to all the Carroll City schools: Barbara Hawkins Elementary, Carroll City Middle, Carroll City High School. Ran into a little bit of trouble with the basketball coach, so I ended up graduating from North Miami Beach Senior High School.
You went to NMB?
Yeah, I graduated from NMB.
You were a Charger.
I was a Charger, 09. Yeah, for sure.
I went to JFK and then I went to NMB, but the first year I left and went back to New York. Yeah,
it's all good. Cool. It's all good. So yeah, man.
So what happened with you and the coach? You have to like.
Yeah, man. It just
you got to give him the 1-2 step.
No, just being young and rebellious, just wanting to go against the grain, man, and thinking that I had all the answers. My whole life I played basketball, and coming from where we come from, our only opportunities out sometimes we think is through sports or through rap. And that's the path that I was on early on. People in my neighborhood wasn't on the education game and all of that stuff. We was either trying to get some money or we was trying to be great in our respective sport.
Big facts.
Basketball was my thing, man. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to play basketball. So I did basketball, in college and stuff like that. Unfortunately, my junior year, I tore my ACL, and that was the time where I was like, damn, my whole life I've never been injured. And then, I worked so hard to finally become a Division I basketball player, and then I got hurt. So now I got to think about things outside of basketball when I never had to. And as I was going through, my rehabbing and stuff like that, I just started thinking like, well, what can I do outside of this? Because the chances of me going to the NBA are slim to none. God only made me 5'9", and my dad would always say, basketball is a tall man's game. So, I didn't, focus on that too much. So then I started to think like, man, I could do other things. So I came up with this acronym called EATIN. I was trying to motivate my little bro. He was getting ready for his, junior year, to play basketball at Ole Miss. And I was motivating him coming from where we come from. I was like, man, you got to eat this year. You got to do your thing. So I'm like, man, we eating. So I'm like, damn, eating. All right, cool. So I said, exist above the noise. All right, so that became the acronym for EATIN, exist above the noise, and it just means not getting distracted or deterred, from your goals. So understanding that I got to practice what I preach, I made sure I started eating. So I started writing. I would write here and there, even on the way to games and stuff. Sometimes my senior, I didn't care.
Let me stop you for a minute, or should I say, let me pause you for a minute, not stop you, because I can't stop you. When I want to know the connection with you and writing, because was that something that you did when, you wanted to express yourself and felt like you couldn't? Was it therapeutic for you? Let's take a little time, and I want you to get into how you connected with writing.
Okay, well, I've always enjoyed writing, but like I said, for some reason, growing up in the environments we grew up in, those skills are not particularly the skills that, we get cultivated or get honed.
It's not cool.
It's not cool, exactly. And, to be honest with you, I always wanted to write because I like to write girls' letters. You know what I'm saying? I like to express.
Now you're giving me what I want.
Yeah. I used to, like to, say things on paper that, I probably couldn't articulate, through my mouth or anything like that. So that's how I really started. I would write letters and stuff like that to the girls I liked in school. And then, I was pretty good at expressing myself on paper. But again, that was a skill that I, hid because I didn't want anybody to, make fun of me or anything like that for wanting to be a writer. So,
isn't that crazy, bro? Like,
yeah, it's weird.
When we talk about like, not to get into racism per se, but when you talk about like, people talk about privilege, the things that, young Black men and women, they have to go through, just to feel accepted and to hide and harbor and neglect themselves, man, it's just so many layers there. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah, nah, it's super tough. And that's what the book is about, man. This ghetto conscious evolution of a rebel is just trying to show the young brother and young sister that look like me, coming from these situations that, man, we are so much more than, what they project to us. I would have never thought in a million years if somebody would have told me that I was going to be an author, I would have laughed at you, because my mind just wasn't in that place. And as I continue to grow as a man, I realized that what I'm doing is cool. All that other stuff, that's stuff to get you caught up, man, in this foolishness. And we got to start showing younger people that it's all right to, be educated. I'm getting ready to finish up my master's degree next month. That's something that I'm proud of. I can stick my chest out about that, and
Congratulations, brother.
thank you. I appreciate that. And everybody, I'm still cool with my homies and everybody from, where I grew up at and stuff like that. Because again, I'm just trying to show everybody that there is another way. And although they probably couldn't, make their way on the same path as me, now they have kids and now they can say, hey, son, hey, to my daughter, hey, see that man right there? I was in school with him. I remember so I look at it like that. I'm not worried about my peers or anybody older than me. Everything that I'm trying to do is for the generations that's coming behind me. So I'm making this author thing cool. From the way I took the picture on the back of the book, I got my ski mask on and I got my sneakers on, you know what I'm saying? And I got my suit on to let you know it's all business. But if I don't, get things the way I need to get them, I'm gonna have to start taking stuff, and not literally, but just in the sense of,
Right.
you can't deny great work. You know what I'm saying?
Eaten by any means necessary.
By any means necessary. Malcolm X, for sure. Yeah, man. So this whole writing journey has been very, very cool, man. And like I said, this is something that I could have never imagined, growing up. So I'm very excited about, what's to come.
Well, thank you for the book. I got it. I didn't read it yet. I'm not much of a reader, to be honest with you, but I collect books that I just have this weird thing. And, I'm very transparent. I have this weird thing. I collect books that I want, and I collect, obviously books that are given to me. And I just said one day a light is going to go on, or I'm going to have a moment and I'll get into it. So at least I'll have all the tools
Yeah.
that I need right there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So understand, although I have not read the book, I do appreciate it and I will get to it. It's a goal of mine, how, along with that, because the fact that we can look at you as a young brother who's an author and, coming from a space that, a lot of young Black men have been through, where we're rebellious and, we're trying to figure our life out and we're trying to follow the crowd and all these different things. What would you go back now and say to your young self or other brothers like you at this point to kind of have them, because to me, it's easy for us to say because we've matured through it.
Yeah, correct.
You know what I'm saying? But, to that young brother, so you have to be mindful of what you say, because you can't say it like you're saying it to yourself now. You have to say it where yourself 15 years ago is going to understand it, or 10 years ago is going to understand it. What do you think you would say to the young version of you or a young brother, to kind of have him understand what it is you're trying to do?
I would first off say that believe in yourself. Stay the course, have patience, and whatever your heart desires, follow that. I kind of always knew what I was, but again, growing up around the type of individuals I grew up around, I had to conceal certain things because I knew, if you show again an articulate side or anything like that, like it's a shame in our community how if somebody is smart, you could be penalized for being smart.
Of course.
And we have to do a better job in that. So I would just say, whatever your heart desires, man, go after that, and don't get, caught up in, what others think of you, because again, that's another thing that plagues us when we're young. We want to be cool with everybody and we want to fit in, opposed to just, believing in ourselves. And, because it's hard to be, be by your lonesome when you're a kid. You want to have friends, you want to be in those circles and stuff like that, so man, that's a great question, because I've thought about that a lot. And now that I have a son, and trying to, prepare myself for how I'm gonna, raise him and the lessons that I want to, give him, it's like, well, what would I tell my younger self? So again, man, just stay in the course, stay in the path, and just believing in yourself despite what, others are doing and others are saying.
Or even thinking.
Or even thinking, exactly.
Yeah,
Listen for the noise.
Facts. All right. So let's get to the book, man. How can people connect with you? How can they connect to the book? And then after you answer that, let me know what's next.
Okay. So the way that people can get Ghetto Conscious, Evolution of a Rebel, you can get it on my website at www.starteatin.com, STARTEATN.com. The book is on the site. You could get it from me. I'll be at different pop-ups in Miami and stuff like that.
So give them your Instagram so when you promote it. Yeah.
Got you. My Instagram is Vega Brandon _ VEGA BRANDON _ Vega Brandon _ on Instagram. And basically what's next for me, I just finished completing this workbook. We got this workbook completed for students where it's going to be a lot of different things where they could complete work, based off the book and stuff. So it's not going to be a typical workbook where, you come to school and teacher giving you a workbook that, you can't relate to or you don't care for. It's going to be something that speaks to our experiences and the thing that, the things that we are used to, because one of the, disconnects that I realized in the educational system once I became a part of it is how much we're not represented, and they expect us to learn these things when we come into these classrooms, but it's like, well, I don't care for these things that you're trying to teach me. It's not that I'm not capable of learning. It's just I'm not really concerned because that's not my life and it's not my reality. So understanding again how, this message in this book, speaks volumes to everybody, but particularly, the boy and girl that comes from this specific environment, So like I said, man, I'm doing a Ghetto Conscious series. Book 2 is being constructed right now. We're going to have many more workbooks to go along with these books. We're not just going to give you stuff to read. We're going to give you things to, think about, to process.
Interact with,
so, exactly. We're going to give you journals and stuff so you could jot down how you feeling and expressing yourself. Because again, you ask kids what they want to do these days. Everybody's saying they want to be a rapper. But it takes a lot to be a musician and stuff because you got to be smart. You got to know certain things. You got to be able to connect certain things. So, again, that's, the basis of what I'm doing so far. And there's a lot more to come. And I'm just excited for the future.
Sounds great, man. Listen, it's been a pleasure to have this interview with you, get to know you better and understand what you got going on. I wish you continued success with what I would like to call your movement. You know what I'm saying? The eating movement, you know what I'm saying?
Movement,
and when you continue to bless us with more work, man, feel free to tap back in with me and let us know so we could update the audience. All right?
Yeah, I got you, man. And I just want to leave with this, man. This is the pledge for eating. And it's, I will discover my purpose in life. In order to fulfill my purpose, I will embrace all pressure and challenges along the journey. I will achieve the goals that I set out to accomplish no matter what. I will take the good with the bad, understanding that nothing in life comes easy, and I would never lose sight of the bigger picture despite the obstacles thrown my way. I will exist above the noise. How can I starve if I'm always eating? So I just want to make sure that everybody, pick up their fork and their knife, man, and start eating, literally, figuratively, and make sure that, you know that you could do anything once you free your mind, man. So that's my message. And we trying to do a lot of positive things. So thank you.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this much. That would be the message to my younger self, is what you just said.
Yeah, facts.
That's beautiful, man.
Facts. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you,
hey, pleasure, man. Shout out to Des who connected
this. Big shout out to Des, Desmond Horn. Thank you, brother. Much love.
Yeah, we gotta show Des some love for real, man. Sure. All right, man. We appreciate you. Continued success with what you're doing, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care of yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right.